We are, actually, right as you said that. Groovy. So I don't think anybody's here just yet. Oh, look at that. The initiative rolls.
I hear the pings.
Oh,
That's terrifying.
whoops. I'm trying to change.
No, I think you hit the cogs on that.
Yeah, if you hit the character sheet thing, it rolls it for you.
Yeah. So that's convenient if you want to use that.
And I'm assuming you can see my character sheet as well, yes?
Yes,
Corey
I
can, not
see,
us.
yeah, I can, but you guys can't.
Okay.
Cool, let me just do a quick reblog. People are going to see my Tumblr, yay. What about sexism? Cool, one more reblog for the road.
I believe you said my initiative was... Oh, it doesn't let me change that. Okay.
Yeah, your initiative is set via your dex modifier plus any specific class bonuses. So if I was to look at you, then whatever your dex mod is would be your initiative. And if you need the thing that tells you what is what, like what each stat range represents, I can send that to you again.
No, I believe it does the... Yes, it does the calculations for me.
Yeah. So like
My hit dice is 1d8, right?
for your weapon, yeah, you have to keep track of it for your weapon. So each
Okay.
weapon has a different hit die. And then your hit dice are your health. That's your health. Like how much health
Alright.
you can restore via spells and stuff like that. Alright, hi. As you can see, we're sort of very, very beginningly kind of setting ourselves up here. You'll notice that we don't have any player tokens yet, and that's fine. I usually won't fiddle too much with player tokens. I'll just kind of sort of, you know, do whatever. Also, I see you, Schmuck, and I see you, Snazzer. You better not be using this to cheat.
No, I just-
chat because I'm a mod. Remember?
Cheat?
No.
You're cheating!
I'm just gonna have like chat open on the side so I can see people say bad
Hey,
things about me.
if you're here on Tumblr, please feel free to reblog. I tried to put an annotation on the YouTube video, but I have to pay money for that. To pay real world money. Okay.
So yeah, how's it going, everybody?
Texts from work, more like mute. Fun. All right. So hi. As you may or may not have seen from the YouTube video or from the Tumblr post, this is a D&D 5e thing that we're doing. It's being simultaneously streamed and recorded, so if you missed the stream, you should be watching it now on YouTube with maybe some light editing intact. But either way, welcome to the Tomb of Annihilation. I will allow my players to introduce themselves from left to right, so I guess Schmuck, you're up first.
Hi, I'm Schmuckloaf, or Isaac if you want to address me like that. I am playing... For this campaign, I'm going to be playing Tiefling, who is also a fighter.
And their name is
And his
Therai.
name is Therai.
Cool.
His background, he is a soldier in the war.
You can expand on that once we get in game. Gub, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Sorry.
Stage right, kid.
Little.
Your character's name is
I'm-
Lidell, or Little?
For his character is the cleric of this, Lidell Elderberry.
Yay. And then Snazzer.
I'm playing a dragonborn warlock named Veshra, and yeah.
Alright, cool. So with proper introductions all set, I will, for the last time probably, play the letter that all of my players received. One last time.
Dear adventurer,
Yeah, just checking shit,
my
don't mind me.
name is Sindra Sylvain. Like yourself, I once was an adventurer. Long ago, I explored countless dungeons, tombs, and other vast, amazing locations. However, during my trial, I perished. I was killed by an opponent stronger than myself. In a last-ditch effort to save me, a necromancer rose me from the dead, and I became undead.
I feel like we should be entertaining people during this moment of silence.
For years,
Oh no, there's audio playing.
this has
Oh.
not bothered me.
I can't hear it on my
I
end.
had remained perfectly
I know.
intact.
Do you remember that letter I sent? Okay, really quick. Do you remember that letter I sent you before, Syndra's letter?
No.
Okay.
I
Well-
think it got lost in the mail.
Oh no.
All right.
Well, we're gonna have to
Well,
hastily
dramatic
explain one
intro aside,
characters
if you
here
watch the
then.
end of the YouTube video, dramatic intro aside, Syndra Sylvain has mailed you three each a letter asking for your help in warding off this odd death curse that seems to be sweeping the world. She herself is slowly withering away in her cabin and has invited the three of you and any other adventurers to come visit her in her cabin for details. She promises a reward of great witches and an adventure like you've never seen. And here you are, right outside her cabin. You knock on her door, and she says, come in, come in. And the three of you enter. As you enter the house, you see Syndra sitting on her chair, her back facing you, covered in robes, sitting by the fire. And she says, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you decided to respond to my letter. And, yeah, you feel free to begin the interactions with Syndra.
Oh dear.
Yeah, anybody can say anything or do anything with Syndra. She's here to answer any and all questions.
She looks very healthy at the moment for someone dying.
Oh no, she is basically looking older than she seems to be in age. For someone that is undead, she's looking, well, quite corpse-like.
Fair enough.
She says to the three of you, I see that you have read my letter. I suppose you know why you're here.
It's the only thing I've known for a while.
Questing, is it? I used to be like yourself once. That was a while ago. I've since closed that door on that stage of my life, however. I've been silently retired, and as you can see, I grow sick for no discernible reason. I'm assuming that you have all at least heard of the death curse, yes?
I've only heard the rumors, not anything concrete.
Unfortunately, that's about as much as everyone knows. The death curse you've heard about has in fact struck me. I don't know how much longer I'll last before I perish. Clerics have no help to offer, unfortunately. They're all completely mystified.
And you want us to figure out the source of this?
Exactly. My contacts in the Harpers have learned that the cause of the death curse is a necromantic artifact called the Soulmonger. According to their sources, the Soulmonger is somewhere inside of Chult. Chult is a peninsula ridged with mountains and choked with rainforests. Enormous reptiles, savage goblins, and an army of undead prowls its jungles and ruins.
And basically, you want us to stroll in there, grab your little artifact, and stroll out like it's nothing.
Oh, quite the contrary. I wish you to go through its jungles and destroy the artifact. I believe that destroying it will release all of the supposed souls captured inside this soulmonger. But unfortunately, no one knows where it lies. Mapping this place has been very difficult, nigh impossible, and nothing is known about the region's current geography besides a few miles from the coast. I've tried everything from sea charts to log books. Pardon me, I grow very tired. I've assembled everything known about the current state of Chult into one map. I'll provide you said map if you undertake my mission. So, adventurers, do you accept?
I accept.
We accept.
I have no choice but to accept.
Good. When you're ready to depart, I will teleport us all to Port Nyanzaru, the only major settlement in Chult. I've been there several times before, so there's little chance of mishap. Once there, I'll stay with a friend named Wakanga Otamu. He's one of 7 merchant princes who rule this city. And, I apologize for saying so, but I am rather worried that I'm sending such inexperienced adventurers on such a dangerous quest, but I can't take any chances.
You said you were coming with us. Are you sure you'll be all right?
I'll be fine. Like I said, Port Nyanzaru is relatively safe for what it is. I may be withering, but as you could see, I at least have enough power to teleport us wherever we need to go, and I trust Wakanga. He's trustworthy.
If you're sure, we can leave right now.
Do you have any last questions or any last-minute business that you need to attend to before we go to the port?
How were you afflicted by the plague?
As I said in my letter, I was killed and raised from the dead during one of my adventures, and since the curse affects the dead and the undead, unfortunately it's sapping my soul away from me. Only normal living creatures aren't affected, but anything that has died or has been brought back from the dead is withering away or unable to be raised. Do you have any other questions before we set off to the port?
No.
All right.
Nothing comes to mind.
Okay. Pardon me. As she gets up, you can see her sort of roughly shamble off the robes, and you can see she has a staff that she's now using as a walking stick. Which appeared to normally be a normal flush human is now more of an older woman. You can see her bones and veins underneath her skin, and her face looks positively drained. She raises her staff above her head, and within a flash, you leave the cabin. This teleport seems to take a little bit longer than you think it would, but during this time, you have a chance to reflect about why you decided to take up her letter in the first place, if you'd like to discuss it.
Did anyone want to go first?
Otherwise,
I'm still kind of blanking on my purpose.
Otherwise,
I'm a cleric.
Shit, I didn't
Use
even
goat
think this.
islands
I
to help
didn't even think
people.
this far. My bad.
no
You're
worries. Otherwise,
Whoops.
otherwise, if your mind
Shrugs.
seems, otherwise, as your mind seems to rest at ease, just as you think the trip couldn't take any longer, you suddenly arrive in Port Nyanzaru. Port Nyanzaru hugs the coastline at the south end of the Bay of Chult. No other city exists in Chult along the coast or anywhere else, except in ruins or overrun by monstrous creatures until recently. Port Nyanzaru was under the firm control of a foreign nation. About 9 years ago, he was forced to relinquish the city to a wealthy and powerful consortium of Chultan traders. All sorts of history and trivia aside, you end up right there at marker number 13 on the top right of the map. You appear in a tropical city under the blazing sun, the familiar sounds of a harbor, creaking ropes, slapping waves, heavy barrels rolling across cobblestones, mingle with voices shouting and cursing in an unfamiliar language filled with clicks, inhalations, and sing-songy words that make it sound almost musical. The aroma of unfamiliar spices and tropical fruit mixes with the wharfside smells of fish, tar, and canvas. Beyond all that, Port Nyanzaru is an explosion of color. Buildings are painted in bright shades of blue, green, orange, and salmon pink, or their walls are adorned with murals portraying giant reptiles and mythical heroes. Every building sports baskets and clay urns of colorful flowers, or is draped in leafy, flowering vines. Minstrels in bright clothing adorned with feathers and shells perform on street corners. Multicolored pennants and sun awnings flutter atop city walls, and a crowd of children dressed in feathered hats and capes races past you, squealing in delighted terror as street performers costumed as big-toothed lizards stomps and roars behind them. The whole city seems to be bustling, sweating, laughing, swearing, and singing. As you all arrive at the small bridge by Point 13, Sindra remarks, "We finally made it. I'm surprised that my magic actually took us this long. Regardless, welcome to Port Nyanzaru, one of the only major cities in Chult. As I promised, here are the maps that I will hand out to you now." And you all should have received a relatively unfinished map of Port Nyanzaru, or Chult. Unfortunately, Syndra only knows as far as the basic northeastern peninsula, and everything else is, well, blank. She doesn't have the resources, and quite frankly, no one does to know this map. So, as you appear, she remarks again, I recommend that you perhaps secure rooms for yourself. There's 2 hotels or inns that I know of. The Thundering Lizard, if you're looking for a fun time, or Kaya's House of Repose, if you'd wished for a good night's sleep. Both of them are close to the Red Bazaar, not too far from here. And she points her finger towards the middle of town, where you can see number 18. It's a large bazaar she's pointing towards. In the meantime, I'm going to head to the villa of the merchant Prince Wakanga. I'm going to stay there for the rest of the adventure, and, well, if you need to contact me, here. And she hands you each small sheets of magical paper you can use to write to her at any time. She demonstrates by taking one of your pieces of paper and writing a pen mark across it, and in a piece of paper she's holding, the mark shows across the same time. So it's basically like an automatic, letter. No sending required, just write it down and she has the note. And with that, she starts to slowly shamble away towards Wakanga's house. And with that, you're welcome to explore Port Nyanzaru. There's lots to do, and if you need a direction, let me know.
I'm assuming it would be advised we stay together on this one.
Perhaps. The jungles are known for being relatively treacherous, so...
Right.
But there's lots to do. There's places to see. You can stock up on supplies, you can stop for a rest, or you can just travel around and see what's happening.
Well, I guess now is a better time than any to stock up on supplies before heading out.
All right. You vaguely remember that that Syndra pointed towards a bazaar in the middle of town.
How bizarre. I got jokes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you see a message board nearby that seems to list a bunch of people, their portraits, and short little tidbits about themselves. Do you want to investigate it?
Sure.
Why not?
All right. Looking at the
Seems
board,
like a wanted board.
this board is actually not a wanted board, but rather an advertisement board for guides to lead you through the jungle. There's about 9 different people you can meet, and if you're interested, you can learn about each person, or you can try and seek them out on your own. There's listings for people like Azaka Stormfang, Iku, Ferul and Gondolo, New Hackenstone, Musharib, Quasha and Kupalue, River Mist and Flask of Wine, Salida, and Shago. All of their advertisements are pasted on the wall, and if you'd like to take one down with you, they have multiple tabs.
Do any of them look like they have a gem in their forehead?
From what you can tell of the basic sketches, no. However, Musharib seems to be adorned with paint with a circle on his forehead.
I'll take that one.
All right.
Why are you looking for gems?
No reason.
As you pick up Musharib's
Alright.
flyer, you can read, it says, "The jungle is my home. I know it well. I can guide you anywhere in Chult for a fee of 5 gold pieces a day. If adventure is what you seek, join my quest to reclaim Hrakhamar, my clan's ancestral forge. A volcanic eruption forced us to abandon it many years ago. The fire newts that have since taken over must be driven out or destroyed. At the very least, we must sneak in and recover a relic known as Moradin's Gauntlet. The fire newts must not be allowed to keep it. If you love dwarven kind, then hear my plea, and join me in returning Hrakhamar to its rightful owners. I will waive my fee for your promise of assistance." And that's the advertisement you take with you.
Good to know.
Would you like to pluck any other advertisements from the board?
I would like to pluck the advertisement of a guide who looks like they know what they're doing.
Lots of people claim that they know. However, if you're looking for a specific type of person, there are some guards that stand out from the others. For example, Quasha and Kupalue is actually a druid with a Vegapygmy companion. River Mist and Flask of Wine are 2 Tabashis that are willing to guide you through the forest. And Shago is quite boastful.
I'll take a look at the druid's
All right.
advertisement.
You pick up
A
Quasha
druid in a jungle would be pretty good.
You pick up Quasha and Kupalue, and you read this. I, Quasha, am a druid and member of the Emerald Enclave. I seek to reach Chult, my homeland of the undead menace that threatens to eradicate my life. All life. My Vegapygmy companion is well versed in the local flora and fauna. Chult is our home, and we can guide you as no others can. Our fee is 5 gold pieces per day, but that amount is negotiable if you're willing to help us destroy any undead we can encounter. Perhaps together we can receive the blessings of the Chwinga spirits that watch over this sacred land. And that's what it says for Quasha and Kupalue. Is there any other advertisements you'd like to take?
I'm good.
I'm good.
We're good.
Alrighty, excellent. And with that information, you are now free to head into the town. You can walk towards the bazaar, find a place to stay for the night. You can use either of the 2 recommendations offered by Syndra, or you can wander around town and see what's happening.
I would like to head into the bazaar to
Yes.
stock up on
So wander
potions,
around.
perhaps.
What's that, Gub?
We should... food, stuff like that.
Okay. As part of your sort of setup, you have enough food to last you for any expeditions, and it's kind of assumed that before you head out, you'll grab enough. I'm just going to do a quick
Okay.
roll here, see if anything happens. Okay. As you're walking towards the bazaar, you hear shouts of "Stop, thief!" as a furtive youngster rushes past you guys. So yeah, a thief just sprinted past you as someone is trying to catch him. What do you do?
We gotta stop him.
All right.
I try to sprint after the thief.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an athletics check for me.
So that's a 1d20.
Yep. Plus your athletics.
Plus... Oh, fuck me, I've lost my character sheet.
Can I try if he messes up?
Yeah, of course you can all sprint after him if you want.
Okay, athletics, where is that?
Athletics, I believe, is
I
under dexterity.
Don't have an athletics mod. Should I use the strength mod instead?
If you would use, yeah, you would use the stat that it's associated with.
Athletics is
So
strength.
plus 2.
Yeah. So if it's
Alright,
dex,
here we go.
Oh,
And I screwed up the command. I'm a fucking idiot.
Well, don't forget you have a dice roll on the left-hand side as well.
Yeah.
So a d20, you said?
Yeah, a d20 plus any athletic modifiers you have. Okay, you both chase after the young boy, but unfortunately he slips past a couple alleyways and ducks past a couple of people, and he gets further and further into the crowd, getting farther and farther away from you.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Ah, damn, we lost him.
Yeah.
I didn't rush after him.
If you want, you can try and use your perception to spot him in the crowd, or you can give up the chase.
You know what? I'm going to be a little bit persistent, and I'm going to try and see if I can suss him out.
All right.
So that's a 1d20 plus...
That would be your passive perception, which I believe is wisdom.
Yes.
Wisdom.
Mod plus 10.
So plus 1. Here we go, and I am blind as fuck.
All right. As you look very carefully through the crowd, you see a slight shiver of fabric duck into a nearby alley. You're not sure if it's someone that's just trying to get around, or if it was the thief that you were looking after.
Hmm.
Do you follow the thread of fabric, or do you give up the chase?
I follow the thread of fabric.
All right. As you
Oh,
sprinted,
yeah.
all right. As you and Lidell flood into the nearby alley, the thief is caught up against the wall and is cradling in his arms some food. And he speaks to you. Please, I need this food. I'm so hungry. Please, just let me go.
Oh, we gotta let him go.
All right. What do you think, Therai? Lidell thinks you should let him go.
In this case, I'm willing to look the other way.
All right. You both lower your arms, and the boy sort of sprints past you and ducks back into the crowd. A nearby merchant runs by and says, "Did you see him? Did you see the thief? Where did he go?" And he's addressing both of you.
I have seen nobody matching your description.
All right. He's like, "Ugh, damn. That was my last food ration for the day. I guess I'll have to close early. Ah, damn it all. And that merchant sort of sulks back to his little bazaar wagon. All right. And with that, you're free to continue towards the bazaar or anything else.
Since Nazar missed out on that little adventure, I guess it's his go.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, if you'd like, we could set up sort of a turn order in case everybody wants to do individual things.
I want to go to Malar's throat.
Malar's throat.
Far
What's
left.
that?
Ah, okay.
24.
Right. Give me 1 second to grab my information on that.
Yeehaw.
Alrighty. You head towards Malar's throat, kind of pushing through all the busy streets, and you pass it by a ton of colorful buildings. You pass by a couple of inns. You pass by a couple of unique, interesting little places. But you approach that throat, Malar's throat. And in Malar's throat, you see a temple. It's labeled the Temple of Tamora, and it looks like a big blockhouse of every stone. It looks not like a structure, but it seems to be sort of a refuge where citizens can sort of hide out, or when it's sort of like a stronghold for the population. Yeah. So you could pass by the stronghold. Otherwise, in Malar's throat, it's mostly just kind of a way out of the city. It's one of the few routes out of the city besides passing through Old City.
I'll go to the temple.
Okay, inside the temple right now, it's pretty empty. There's no major emergency or anything happening like that. But you can see that there's sort of like emergency rations, supplies, and stocks, and no one seems to be manning it right now, save for a lone person sort of sweeping up. And he sees you enter and says, welcome to the temple. You must be travelers. Usually people don't stop inside the temple much.
One person. Just one traveler. Thank you.
Yeah.
But
Unless you're like a bunch of goblins in like a trench coat.
Are you a bunch of goblins in a trench coat?
a secret. No. What is this temple dedicated to?
This temple is a refuge. Whenever a flood happens or the alarm horns are sounded, this is where people gather. We have supplies in case of emergencies. You could think of us as almost a militia, but not quite.
You have a name.
My name is Therai. I'm
Not your military force.
No, we're just whoever can get their hands on anything. It's mostly left up to the merchant princes. They usually run things around here.
Do they have a leader?
I wouldn't say a leader. They're all trying to compete against one another. You really aren't from around here, are you?
No.
Right, well, to basically break it down, the merchant princes essentially run all of the goods. If there's a specific type of good, there's a prince associated to it, or princess in certain situations, but otherwise, they are the ones that control the economy and the goods, and basically anybody that has anything is thanks to them.
Was this temple built in the name of a god of some sort? Maybe multiple?
It was actually built off of a lady, hence the name. The lady was very kind, of course. She was almost, as one would say, a godlike figure. She went around helping people, and while she didn't have incredible wealth, she just always seemed to be there. It was a really incredible time for us. It's helped to get a lot of port moving.
Thank you.
Right. Is there anywhere I could help you? Any place I could show you where to go?
Schmuck,
Tell
we
me
should
all you
probably
know
ask
about
him
the
about the
undead
druid.
plague.
I unfortunately know as much as anyone else. The undead plague has just sort of been rampant lately. Lots more undead are roaming the woods and the jungles, and well, quite frankly, everyone's a little bit worried to step outside of the port. This is the safest place anyone knows. Otherwise, as for
Alright.
specifics, that's all I know. I'm merely a steward in this temple.
Very well. I'll just leave.
All right.
What?
Is there any other questions you want to ask Harai before everybody leaves?
Well, yeah, we're looking for guides. We may as well, like, ask if he knows where they are.
Is there any guide in particular you're looking for? I can help.
I thought I was just by myself.
All right, so Snazzer left by himself. Gob said,
No, I meant asking the guy by myself.
"Oh yeah, no, you were, but I'm assuming the party followed you."
Oh, okay.
We kind of like rejoined at one point after our little misadventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the advertisement still, I'm assuming, if you wanted to go. Have you seen this man?
Have you seen this man in particular, sir? And I pull out the parchment containing the advertisement.
All right. Remind me which advertisement you pulled.
It was the druids.
Ah, yes, the druid. Yeah, I have seen him around, yes. I believe at this time of day he's most likely shopping in the bazaar. But otherwise, I don't know exactly where he is.
Well, thank you for your information, sir.
Is there anything else I can help you folks with?
Not really, no, I guess.
Excellent. I hope you have a good day. Oh, dang it. What day is it? Do you happen to know?
No.
Ah, I think the dinosaur races might be today. You're travelers, right? You should definitely go see them if you have a chance. They're really, really exciting. I have to finish my chores. Take care. And he returns furiously, just brushing the dirt around him in a hurry to try and get to these dinosaur races. All right.
These races sound exciting.
So all of you guys step outside, and I'm going to go ahead and set up a turn order so that way people can do what they want to do. Let's get it going on here.
Should we roll, or do we just want to have an agreement on this first?
I'm just going ahead and throwing in some labels. So we have Therai. We've got Lidell. And I'm forgetting the last name again.
Veshra.
Veshra. Okay. So Veshra just took his turn, so I think Therai is up next. Alright, Therai, where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
I would like to head into the bazaar to purchase some supplies.
Alright, do you want to take anybody with you, or do you want to just head off by yourself?
I'll take the Canadian with me.
Alright, so you escort Lidell, this tiny little elderly halfling, into the bazaar, and the bazaar is absolutely bustling. There's people shouting, hands clapping, all sorts of music being played, and there's so many goods for sale that if you're looking for something specific, that you could pretty much find it anywhere. You can hear people shouting, "Come, see my jewels! Beautiful jewels, fresh and freshly imported and cut." You hear people say, "Come, see my weapons and armor and potions." And you hear all of these just words overlapping each other. It's hard to find or hear a specific person unless you try and tune in.
I'll try to tune into the person advertising the general shop.
All right. You hear a young woman named you hear a young woman. She's saying, "Come over here. I have plenty of things for sale: weapons, shields, traveling gear, anything that you need. If you're heading into the forest, buy one of my famous rain catchers. Never worry about water ever again." And she you can see her waving her arms from the southwest corner of the bazaar. And then I'm assuming that you go to her, yeah?
Yeah, we go to her.
Alrighty. As she says, welcome to my shop. Do you see anything that interests you? And as you look on her table, you see things like arrows, a basic wooden shield, and you see a dagger as well. You also see she was talking about the rain catcher as well. And oddly enough, you see a very odd melee weapon. It looks like basically like a giant wooden shaft with some steel and stone blades that seems pretty significantly big. It's about roughly 18 inches long. So almost like sort of like a steel and stone mace.
I am very interested in that rain catcher.
Alright, Lidell, you take a look at the rain catcher. And Akine sees you eyeing that, and she goes, "Ah, you see the rain catcher. You must be heading into the jungle, are you not?"
Yes, we are.
Ah, excellent. Then you'll absolutely need one of these rain catchers. As you can see, you merely wear it on your back, and it catches water as the rain falls. It can hold up to roughly 8 gallons of water, which can get a little bit weighty, but it's better than having to try and scoop water from the river and boil it yourself. I figure something as useful as this probably costs about a gold pound. 1 gold piece. Very simple, but necessary.
That sounds like a very good deal.
Alright, do you spend a gold and grab it?
Yes.
Alrighty. Lidell picks up a rain catcher, add it to your inventory, and subtract 1 gold from your purse.
Okay. I'm doing that now.
And then Akine sees you, Therai, and goes, "Ah, yes, a tiefling. We don't see many of you around here. As you can see, I don't have much for sale, especially since you seem to be of a military background, but I hope something here interests you."
Do you happen to carry any health potions or anything of the sort?
Unfortunately not, my friend. I have basic traveling things, but as for when it comes to potions, unfortunately I sell none. However, there is someone nearby. Look out for a man named Wakanga. He has a lot of potions and spells that you may be interested in.
Thank you.
Is there anything
But
else? Oh,
I would like to ask, what would you recommend that we take into the jungle?
honestly, friend, I cannot tell you. Magic, swords, shields, anything you can to protect yourself. I don't really know what's out there. No one really does. If you haven't met with a guide yet, perhaps they might have more insight than me. I mostly run things here. I am sort of the head of general goods around here, and I control most of the rain catches, so I have to stay in the port.
Understandable.
All
Have a
right.
good day.
All right, and with that, you both stroll away from Ikene, and you don your new rain catcher. And boy, it's a little heavy, but it's certainly doing the job. It looks basically the size of your torso, Lidell. It's covering most
It
of
looks
your body.
ridiculous on you, comrade.
Alrighty, and with that, we head to Lidell. Is there anything you wish to take care of, Lidell?
I'm going to grab a soda. I'll be right back.
Oh dear, this is very Oregon Trail at the moment. I'm kind of worried, like, what do we buy without dying?
Assume that food is pretty much taken
Yeah.
care of. If you're looking for a specific merchant, I can point you in the right direction.
Yeah, until Schmuck gets back, you said there was... how you say... a prince or princess of sorts of each trade.
Yes. You actually just met one named Akene. Akene was was the one that was sort of like the princess of merchants, and she dealt mostly with general goods.
Mhm.
If you're looking for a specific merchant, then I can point you in the right direction.
I don't remember the entire list, but it would be in character to see the tailor of sorts.
The tailor. Alrighty then. You're looking for. You ask around town, and you learn of a name, Xanthi. Xanthi is a princess of gems, jewelry, cloth, and armor, and they point you towards a corner of the bazaar, where you can head there whenever you're ready.
Yep.
Alrighty. So as you approach Xanthi, she actually doesn't have an outside market. She has an inside store. And as you open the door, you see ornate ribbons, you see beautiful clothing, you see well-strapped leather armor, gems, and jewelry just decking the halls.
Oh, wow.
And you see Xanthi herself, who seems to be in a very ornate shirt. And she says, welcome. I see you have found my shop. Feel free to look around.
You gave me 145 gold. I might just end up blowing it all here.
145. I only got 15.
How did that happen? Oh well.
Well, God,
By
don't forget that
background,
you're
I
part of the
guess.
guild.
Oh yeah. But yeah, hell yeah.
I'm back. I'm sorry about that.
Alright, so Lidell has dragged you by the hand into Xanthi's shop, which is a clothing and armor shop. It's all very, very regal looking.
Oh, lovely.
As far as you can tell, it's nothing super special besides the colorful cloths, basic leather and studded leather and hide armor. Otherwise, she's just she looks very prissy, and she's very, very proud of her shop, and she seems to be like dusting the clothes, straightening them, and like ornate or like arranging the colors in like a fashionable pattern. And she looks at you, Lidell, and she looks up and then looks down, trying to keep her nose above her, and she's saying, "Is there anything in particular you were looking for?"
Just browsing, dear. But do you happen to have anything in yellow?
Yellow, an interesting color. It seems that you wish to not be lost in the jungle, I would assume. Wear a bright yellow jacket to prevent you from getting lost. And she sort of looks around and she says, well, as for bright yellow, I find that color quite tacky, but I do have a beautiful gold, and I would have to make some alterations.
But of course, what would you recommend?
For you, perhaps, maybe a soothing purple. A nice purple robe to go over those, so-called clothes that you have.
Excuse me, I made these.
Ah, yes, it shows.
These are of the guild trade, madam.
I see you're part of the guild of scrap working.
I feel like we should go. I feel like this person doesn't deserve our business and our hefty, hefty sum of gold we happen to be carrying.
Beside her.
No, we will take our business elsewhere.
go to the island.
We will be more respected.
Are you with them?
Forcefully ejected.
Are you with them right now, Snazzer?
I don't think you are. No, I'm not.
All right. So you probably you start to leave, and Zante says, "Ah, good, and have a nice day." And she gets this big grin on her face.
That bitch.
Don't
Alright.
worry, we will firebomb our shop later.
Well, we just need to find the guide at the very
And
least.
what alignment are you guys again?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it
Undisclosed.
I will say this, Gub. In order to keep in good standing with your god, you kind of have to be lawful good.
You can't
Yeah,
be murder hobo.
I'm not gonna.
Well, I can technically be murder hobo, but that would be boring.
Aren't you lawful good schmuck?
I'm chaotic good. We
You still
typelings
have
are.
to be good.
Well, we're more on the chaotic side of things.
Okay, but I'm just saying, don't go being petty.
Oh, fuck you.
That's my job. I'm chaotic neutral. I'm literally the pettiest.
Alrighty, as you all step
Listen.
outside, perhaps you gather up with... Do you see Snazzer across the bazaar? Snazzer, are you in the bazaar with them?
No.
Alrighty, then...
They just keep leaving me.
Alright.
Well, your fault for being a slowpoke.
You said you didn't cry.
Alright, Snazzer, where are you now?
I'm going to a blacksmith and a biologist.
Okay, as you step to find a blacksmith in the town, you hear sort of overhearing of a harbor master sort of like drinking ale and being very upset. And you can hear him talking about these damn pirates always getting my goddamn ships. It's like a single merchant can't get inside these days. And you hear him just sort of like angrily drinking and pounding his like drink against the table. And it's like he's like, "Barkeep, I want another."
I walk up to the man and I say, "You're having trouble with pirates."
Aye, pirates. They're tackling merchant ships and raiding them, heading from the bay. 3 main ships that keep giving me a goddamn trouble, and I'm looking for anything that might help me stop them. I had to...
Have they been caught?
Unfortunately not, but I've gotten permission from one of the merchant princes to offer a bounty. 2,000 gold pieces for each ship that's captured, and a bonus 500 for the capture of each pirate captain.
I might be interested, though.
Snaz, we don't have a boat.
Who says we need a boat?
If you're suggesting what I think you're suggesting.
Well, if I see
Probably not.
destroyed ships in the harbor, I'll obviously go to see who is with it. And if I see any captured pirates, well then I'm in possession of the gold right now. Well, actually, I'm not. The merchant princes have it. Either way, if you can bring me proof that you got each ship and got a captain, I'll gladly be able to refer you to the prince and get you your gold.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And you also notice, I forgot to mention, this guy is a half gold dragon. And he's a really, 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 really tall dude.
How tall are we talking?
I'm talking roughly 6'5".
I
He's
rolled
an
to
inch
seduce
taller
him.
than me.
Are we even
Is he
there?
muscular? Cause like
Yeah,
I'm
he's a sailor.
lithe.
He's a
So we're base.
he's a
We're
big sailor.
basically
Just
the
run through the
exact
tavern.
opposite.
Yeah. Otherwise, he points you towards the harbor master's office, which is actually right outside where you appeared, and says, "If you leave a note on the door or knock, I'll be sure to respond as soon as I can." And he sort
What
of
is your name?
yeah, he sort of like gulps down his ale, wipes his mouth, and starts stumbling out back towards the office.
Your, never mind.
What? Huh?
I didn't get your name.
Oh, right. I'm Harbor Master Zinder.
Zinder. Alright.
Right. And he stumbles down the street, bumping into civilians as he goes. Alrighty. Veshra, what would you like to do?
Well, since I did that, I want to go to the blacksmith and then hopefully a biologist.
Okay. Asking around, you hear of two potential names. You've got one person named Jessamine, who seems to be an expert in plants and poison. And then you hear tales of someone named... one second here. You hear of Akine again. Well, you hear of Akine for the first time.
I'll go to the first person.
All right, you visit Jessamine outside, and she is this small-looking, hooded person. Hood's draped over her face, and as you approach, she doesn't really say anything. She sort of just kind of sits there, and as you look on her table, there's nothing really there. She has nothing really for sale, but you hear talk of the fact that she might be an herbologist.
What was her name again? I forgot.
Her name is Jessamine.
Jessamine? Is that you?
Who wants to know?
Me.
And who are you?
Not you.
Ah,
You gonna get hit.
if you have funny business, go find someone else.
And she sits back down and slumps.
I'm looking for someone who has knowledge of the jungle.
Well, you haven't found her. Go try finding one of the travelers or guides.
I thought you were a biologist.
A biologist, perhaps. Poison specialist, another.
You have antidotes.
Antidotes I may in fact have, but they are expensive. Plants are very hard to get.
How expensive?
Depends on what you're looking for. And
You said you had gold.
Depends on what you're looking for. Many diseases and many madnesses infect these jungles. Are you looking for something specific?
Do you have an antidote for the undead plague?
If I had an antidote for the undead plague, we wouldn't have this problem.
I don't mean the plague itself. I mean, if someone were to get bitten or infected with it, could we stop it before it spread to them fully?
No, friend, you would not die from a bite. You would merely get sick or contract some madness. The undead here aren't viral. They're all magic-based.
And she says that with quite a certainty. She's very, very sure that these undead aren't viral at all. They're all completely magic.
How do you know that?
Simple. I tried to make an antidote, and it didn't work. It must be magic-based.
Sounds like you should have used some magic.
It sounds like you might need to find a new stand.
I leave.
All right. Jessamine slumps back down and covers her hood above her head, grumbling slightly.
We are making amazing first impressions.
Yeah.
The merchant princess
This
just
is
love
the
you guys.
first chaotic neutral character I've ever played.
All right, Veshra, you've got the reins.
Blacksmith.
Right, and right. You're heading towards the blacksmith. That's right.
Kane or whatever.
All right. As you head towards that, we turn over to Therai. What's up? How's it going?
I'm still with Lidell, aren't I?
You're still with Lidell.
I'm going to see if I can ask around to find our druid friend.
Alrighty. You ask around, and some basic people are saying, "Oh yeah. We just saw him in the bazaar moments ago. Darn, where did he go?" And you can ask a couple more people and be like, "Ah, yes, it's very hard to mistake him with his tiny little vegetable friend. I believe I last saw him heading towards the racetrack." And the
I
racetrack.
think you want us to go see the dinosaurs.
May as well. Let's go see the dinosaurs.
Alrighty, this is gonna be
Are
freaking
we
cool.
doing some gambling?
If you'd like, as you approach this gigantic strip, you see a T-Rex charge by, thundering the ground. You see chains hanging off of him with a Triceratops closely in pursuit. And you see two riders, one male, one female, racing each other down the path. And you can see large crowds gathering and cheering. As you remember, once a week, these dinosaur races are being held. And there's just this feverish chanting, drums being played. It's just a fantastic time. And if you look around for the guide, you can see him sort of in sort of the upper rafters with his Vegapygmy friend, this tiny little plant person that he's hanging out with. And yeah, so you have this big crowd in front of you. He's up in the upper rafters, and this really exciting dinosaur race is happening. What will you do?
I guess we could afford to stay a while and watch the dinosaur races.
Yes.
Okie dokie. So, this next race is going to be a four-legged race, and it's going to be between a Triceratops and an Ankylosaurus. And after about 5-10 minutes of racing down the path, the Ankylosaurus is announced as the winner. The Ankylosaurus's name is Spiketail. Spiketail wins, and you see a lot of people cheering, being like, yes, I won so much money, and other people crumpling their papers and stomping on it on the ground. And nearby, you can hear calls for the next race of if you want to bet on a race, and then you see another tent across from that for potential riders.
Ishmak,
What?
we should ride a dinosaur.
No. We are not riding a dinosaur.
But
You can ride a dinosaur. I can watch and hopefully look for our little druid friend.
well, you can see him. I'm gonna go apply.
Your funeral.
All
I
right.
won't be burying your dead carcass.
I'm the cleric. You need me alive. You gotta save me.
Okay, Therai, you have a chance. You can see your guide that you are interested in with his Vegapygmy friend sort of sitting on the rafters, the Vegapygmy sitting up against the ledge and kicking its feet in delight.
I approach the druid rather casually and I say hello to him.
Ah, hello. You enjoying the race?
Yes, it is very exciting. Are you the person in this advertisement? We are looking for a guide, and I show him the advertisement that
Aha.
I happen to be carrying.
Ah, yes. That is me. I am Kawasha, and this is Koopa Lue. And Koopa Lue just kind of waves and kicks its feet a little bit faster. And he says, are you interested in hiring me as a guide?
Yes, actually, we are on an expedition, shall we say, and we need somebody who knows the jungles well enough to guide us out of danger.
That I do. I am a native of this land, and of course I'm willing to help. Of course, I would have to charge my normal fee of 5 gold pieces per day, and unfortunately, since this place is, well, covered by one of the merchant princes, I have to ask for a 30-day extension up front. However, if you're willing to help me exterminate some of the undead as we go, I'd be willing to waive a couple days' fee. However, I still need to do the 30 days up front.
30 days up front will be a bit pricey, but we are a band of adventurers who happen to be adept at the slaying business. I'm sure we can help you exterminate some of the undead roaming around here.
Ah, wonderful. Well, unfortunately, I can't go without that 30-day extension. It'd be about 150 gold pieces altogether.
Shit.
I understand if you need time. I will be going back towards the inn. You can find me at the Thundershock Inn. And he,
Alright, well,
yeah, go ahead.
thank you for your time. I will seek you out once I've gathered my compatriots, as one of them seems to be keen on riding one of those dinosaurs.
Sounds like good fun. All right. Come on, let's go. And he picks up his little veggie pygmy friend and puts him on his shoulders and starts walking away. And with that, we head over to Lidell. Lidell.
Schmuck, if we need money, you should bet either for me or against me.
Oh, God.
Spaghetti.
Oh, fuck me.
What are my choices? What do I get to ride into battle?
Alrighty, so you can do one of two races coming up. You have the two-legged race for two-legged dinosaurs and an unchained race where it's no holds barred.
Let's do the first one.
What are you, a coward?
Alright, you approach the stand and the guy looks over the edge and says, hello, are you interested in being a rider?
Yes, what would that entail, though?
Well, first of all, have you ever ridden a dinosaur before?
I have not.
Do you have a dinosaur of your own possession?
No.
And the guy's tapping on his chin a little bit. It's like, well, I'm not
there
entirely sure if we can help you in this instance. And
So
you
we
can,
gotta capture a fucking dinosaur.
well, he's sort of tapping on his chin. It looks like he's thinking about something. It might be a good opportunity to try and charm him with your personality.
What do you mean?
Go on, Lidell, woo him. Seduce him.
Roll the
Seduce me.
seduce.
You can actually. That would be rolling.
Oh no.
That would be rolling persuasion and charisma.
Oh no. Where is...
I mean, it was just a joke. You don't actually have to seduce the dude.
I think that does it.
All right.
Oh, boy.
So the guy taps. He's like, "Do you say anything to try and persuade him, or are you just trying to look good?"
I am...
Go on.
that should not have worked, first of all.
Well, yeah. Well,
Go
you gotta tell me what you do to try and persuade him.
I gotta know, like, is there a rental, or could you help an old lady out just this one time on the island?
Well, it might be interesting. And he whispers to a guy in a sort of like a big rough and tough guy next to him, and he starts whispering, and he says, "All right, I might have a deal for you. If we get to keep, well, simple as this. I'm going to give you a dinosaur, and you're going to have to race it, no matter which one it is. Otherwise, you're allowed to participate in the race, and betting will be allowed on you. However, to cover the renting expenses, we will take 10% of any winnings you earn. Deal?"
Deal.
All right.
Wait, what if I don't win? Oh dear.
Simple. If you don't win, then we hope that you fall off your dinosaur, so we have a good time and a good laugh.
Lovely.
All right. And he presents
Oh,
you.
God
And
damn
he
it.
presents you with a piece of paper that you take over to the pens. And in the pens, you see a number of dinosaurs lined up with each other. You see a giant T-Rex. You see a small little Velociraptor, and all sorts of crazy assortments. And you come upon the stable hand sort of leads you over to your stable. And he opens the gate for you, and inside is this gigantic, chained up T-Rex.
Oh hell
Oh
yes.
dear.
And you can see it,
Oh, no.
you can see it bucking against its chains and furiously trying to escape. And it sees
were
you.
serious?
It sees you, and it starts like its eyes sort of like narrow, and it starts like breathing heavily.
We're gonna be best friends.
Oh, God.
Question, can I heal myself?
Maybe you might be able to heal yourself.
Okay. Sweet.
Alrighty, so you see a small saddle on the back, and you climb on up, and the dinosaur frees from its chains, and it smashes down the gate, and it starts bucking towards the starting line, and you'll need to calm it down if you want it to not plow through the other racers.
What do we want to do? Like pat it on the head?
Sort of try roll a animal handling skill check.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
Better not roll a 1.
Oh, I have a 3 to this.
All right,
Another-
as you yank back on the reins,
Oh, no.
he bucks crazily, and you're thrown off, and you're left dangling on the reins as he stomps around near the starting line. You can hear the guy, you can hear the animal hand, and you can hear the the booth laughing.
Ah, lovely.
I bury my hands in my face in disbelief.
Start betting.
Did you
start
bet
betting
against
quickly.
them?
Yeah. As a quick aside, Therai, you're allowed to make bets for or against Lidell. For Lidell, the
We
pay.
need money, damn it.
Yeah. For Lidell, it's a 1 to 5 odds. So if you win, you get whatever you wager plus 5, and then you have a Hadrosaurus, not a Hadrosaurus, a Velociraptor next to him with a 3 to 1 odd. Sorry, a 7 to 1 odd. So you would get 7%. You would get a multiple of 7 of what you got in. So you can either bet on Lidell and earn a times 5 what you put in, or bet on the other guy and get 7 what you put in divided by 7.
So either times 5 or divided by 7.
Yeah. So as you can see on the listings
Oh,
above you,
boy.
you see the odds. You see what's listed as grandma with you see the rider listed as grandma with what's known as Gnasher. The name of the dinosaur is Gnasher, and then you see
Oh, lovely.
You see Makobo, who is like on a winning streak with his little velociraptor named Bullet. Where do you place your bets?
What if I eat Bullet?
Can Grandma eat bullets?
Oh,
Grandma.
God, I'm
I
not.
don't actually know what the rules are.
I'm not even sure if I should think about betting on
Flip
either.
coin.
Fuck. You know what? Just for kicks, I'm going to bet 10 gold on Lidell, just so I would have enough to cover the druid's cost.
All right.
How much money do you actually have?
160, but the druid
Oh.
is asking for like 150 up front for like 30 days.
All right.
Oh no, this was all for nothing.
Yeah, like last bets, ding, 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 and the betting hall is closed.
So
Lidell, you
do I already like subtract 10 from my gold?
for now,
stash?
yes.
All right.
All right, and then you hear a horn blow, Lidell, and that's your cue to spur the Tyrannosaurus into action. So make another animal handling check.
Okay. Hopefully it doesn't go... Why?
Why do you suck at everything?
As you smack the reins, the Tyrannosaurus stamps around a little bit, but then eventually starts running down the strip, sort of waggling left and right. You can see the Velociraptor far ahead of you, and up ahead is one of the first few turns, and the Tyrannosaurus you can see is going off the track. So you can make another animal. You can make another animal handling check, or if you can think of a different way to control the Tyrannosaurus, let me know.
Well, I doubt I can talk it into moving.
You can certainly try. Okay, reason to me what skill you would use to calm down the Tyrannosaurus, make it listen to you.
A better idea. Since we were slightly vague on the amount of stuff I have a lantern thingamajig. Why don't I use like persuasion to like look at the pretty light?
Okay, you know what? Go ahead and roll your persuasion.
Yes.
Alrighty. The dinosaur sees you dangle the little lamp over its eyes, and the light reflects off of it, bouncing in its eyes, and it starts chasing it even faster than where you were holding on. So now, you're barely holding on for your life as this Tyrannosaurus is barreling down the track towards the turn.
What?
All right. Go ahead and make a. Go ahead and do a strength check for me.
Can I not?
Can I roll? Can I roll to like look away from this disaster?
All right. You yank on the reins,
Seven's
but it
not
doesn't do
good.
much. The Tyrannosaurus slams into a wall, but keeps chasing the lantern down the next turn. You're starting to actually close in on the Velociraptor towards the second turn, which is basically a U-turn. What do you do?
How poor of sport of it is if I dangle the lantern so that he charges over the Velociraptor?
This is not the Unchained race, so I'd imagine that they wouldn't be too happy about it.
Okay. Then I'm gonna have to rely on hopefully making that U-turn.
Alrighty.
Please, God, make that U-turn.
And
My
again,
10 gold
if
is
you-
on the
if you-
line, you Fuck.
if you think you know a way to persuade the dinosaur somehow, feel free to convince me in any way you think you can move this dinosaur.
Baby talk to dinosaur. Maybe that'll work. I don't know.
What do you mean, baby talk dinosaur? Like, I can just
Talk to it
power
as
the
if it was
lantern
like a
some more.
very temperamental toddler.
That's slightly different.
Well, don't forget you are a cleric. You can also sort of talk to God for insight, or you can use your cunning wits to figure out a way out.
Jesus, take the wheel!
If that works.
What are you doing?
Well, what I'm assuming Shimok's telling me to do is just pray for the dinosaur to turn on its own.
Alrighty. You know what? I want you to go ahead and roll a. Let's see
Oh
here.
no.
What would this be? Okay, I want you to do a.
Because I can either make the lantern move or
That's up to you. What do you choose to
pray
do?
for.
Are you...
Shimok, how attached to that 10 gold are you?
Very attached. I would like to have some spending money after this.
Well, don't forget you have a bunch of skills like athletics, acrobatics, sleight of hand, stealth, arcana, history, investigation,
Yeah.
nature, religion. If you can think of everything. So, one person suggested in the chat that you could try and do a religion check to try and contact your god. Or you can, or you can try and think of a, or you can try and find a way to manipulate this dinosaur. If you can convince me that any of your skills can be used to manipulate this dinosaur, I will allow it.
I'm going to start to say goodnight to my drinking money.
Well, good.
Therai over in the corner is just sort of like, you can see him just sort of like dragging his hands across his face, and you can see his eyes becoming bloodshot. So that is stress.
By the end of this race, my poor character is gonna like heal over out of stress, like in Darkest Dungeon.
So Gub, what do you do?
I'm just trying to visualize. You say it's a U-turn coming out, so I need to literally make the dinosaur curve.
Correct. It's a pretty sharp turn coming up. What do you do?
What? I'm not entirely sure, actually. Animal handling is a terrible idea because that has never worked.
You got a Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, again, right now the dinosaur is enthralled with your lamp as well.
Yeah, so I gotta somehow make the swinging motion work.
Sure, how would you do that? Think, what does Lidell potentially know that could help her in this situation?
I don't know what you're asking.
Anything. Think of anything,
You know.
anything you might know. Tell you what, roll an insight check. Okay,
22.
Lidell, when you're thrown off balance like this and you see a tight turn coming up, you somehow are able to visualize a basket being weaved. You notice how that when you have to weave a basket, you have to sort of make an S-shaped curve. So when it bucks out to one side, it can curve back in and allow for greater elasticity. Basically, it's saying that if you make sort of an S shape, you might be able to handle this turn a bit easier.
In that shape with the lantern?
Basically, if you can cause the dinosaur to sort of lean into the turn a bit more and then cause it to curve back out, you might be able to round this corner.
I can't believe Grandma's basket weaving skills is gonna save her ass in this race. I fucking quit.
You remember a time back when you were weaving a basket and this one piece just would not go without breaking. So after a while, you sort of warmed up to it and were able to make it weave by doing a preliminary stretching first, essentially turning one side to loosen it up and then move it to the other side.
I know you were giving me a ton of hints, however, I am very dumb. So from that, I'm essentially gathering that... No, but that would make a sharp turn, wouldn't it? Or do I need a sharp turn?
It is a sharp U-turn.
Yeah, screw it. So if I just stick the lantern out to whatever angle the turn is, hopefully it'll turn with it.
Alrighty, so you stick the lantern out and the dinosaur starts to lean into the curve, and it seems like you're about to hit the pole that marks where the U-turn is.
Ah. How strong's the pole?
The pole is a flimsy stick, and otherwise you would collide into the wall past it.
Oh, so it's against the wall, and
Therai, do you want to shout anything out into the crowd?
I'm doomed.
All right, you hear
I'm
hear
doomed.
Therai crying in the background. I tell you what, roll a perception check for me.
okay. That's this one.
Okay, you hear this little young boy jumping up and down, and you can hear him say, "Drift, Grandma!"
Tokyo Drift.
I know what I'm supposed to do. I can't visualize the hell out of it.
Alrighty, and you see the kid snapping a wheel back and forth, like turning to the right and then sharply turning to the left. You see him like pantomiming it out.
What?
You see him snap his arms out to the right to turn and then snap it back to the left quickly. You can hear Therai shouting out into the crowd, "Mimic the kid, for fuck's sake!"
I think he wants me to.
Alrighty, so Lidell, you can hear Therai shouting about his money furiously at you. You drag the lantern out to the right, and the dinosaur makes a sharp turn to the right, almost cutting off the velociraptor. And you swing it back to the left, and I need you to do a strength saving throw.
That is right there.
All right.
No.
You fly off of the dinosaur, barely holding on to the to the reins as the dinosaur whips its tail around and basically skids across the dirt, completing the U-turn. And now you are dangling off the side of the dinosaur. As the dinosaur is like,
So you want me to climb back really quickly.
roll an athletics check to see if you can climb back up quickly.
Athletics isn't
Click
real.
athletics.
This is a mess.
Oh, there it is.
How did you?
Alrighty. Somehow you muster the strength and you get back on top of the saddle, and the finish line in sight. But there's only one thing stopping you. It seems to be a dip in the road, and that dip has like sort of a water crossing to where it's almost like a jump.
I'm chucking the lamp. He's gonna jump.
All right.
Um,
You chuck your magical sensor across the lake.
Okay, that's a bit more idea.
You chuck your holy sensor across the lake, and the dinosaur.
Oh god. Oh god, I can't watch.
The
I
dinosaur.
can't fucking watch.
The dinosaur skids and it jumps, but it catches its foot in the pit and starts skidding across the ground. Your magical
no.
you fly past your magical sensors, getting kicked across the ground, and you could try and reach out and grab it.
I kind of have to. What would that be?
Just roll a flat 1d20.
Flat 1d20.
come on.
Let God be on your side, please.
Is
Alrighty.
14 good
Yeah,
enough?
you grab the sensor and you point it in front of the dinosaur, and right as the velociraptor jumps over the T-Rex and is about to cross the finish line, as you point the sensor out in front of the finish line, the T-Rex bucks its head forward and its nose crosses the finish line first. And the crowd just absolutely loses it.
Congrats.
You hear people laughing, people cheering. A ton of people are just crumpling up their papers and are so angry. But everyone's just flipping their shit. This tiny little halfling grandma just maneuvered one of the toughest dinosaurs in the race and crossed the
And
finish
Therai
line.
is in the background, both jumping in both joy and disbelief.
At the dino.
Looking carefully, you can see Therai just like tears streaming out of his eyes, jumping up and down. And you
That's
see
the dino.
you see the animal handlers come in and quickly round up the dinosaurs, and someone helps pick you up off your feet. and they put in your hand a dinosaur tooth trophy that they help you raise above your head triumphantly, but they kind of lift you off the ground a little bit.
Nice.
So they're holding you above,
Do
they're
I
like,
get to keep the
yeah!
dinosaur?
And the crowd's going, Granny! 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 And you see Thrasher... And the Thrasher is slowly dragged off into the nearby pen, and you're just it's like dusted off and led back into the crowd. And the guy that was manning the thing, the guy that was manning the stand is like laughing so hard. He's like, I can't believe that you ran Thrasher across the track. I thought you would die. Oh my
We
god.
need this dinosaur for our adventure.
Oh, friend, here's your winnings for participating in the race. And he gives you a small sum of 50 gold pieces. There is not a lot of bets on you. And he takes away 10, so he gives you 40 gold pieces.
Okay.
And
So wait, that was like my bet, wasn't it?
That was your bet.
Well, they have to split it. And then
okay.
Therai, you hear someone calling for strips, like winning strips.
I eagerly jump up and head to the man calling out for strips.
Right. The guy is like, I still can't, I can't believe it. I just, here. And he tosses a bag of 70 gold at you.
70.
Pleasure doing business, my friend.
And the crowd's like, yeah! Everyone's just loving it as they're setting up for the Unchained race. Meanwhile, Thrasher is thrown back into his pen.
You didn't cut
How
the
much is
dino.
Thrasher?
All right, I'm assuming you're asking this to the animal handler?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, but Thrasher's not for sale. He's still in training.
Oh,
However, I think it's fair to say that you can visit him anytime.
that's fair. That's fair.
And you see
You're doing
Thrasher,
well.
you hear Thrasher like bucking against his chains and sort of like making moans.
Spencer, I need you to steal a dinosaur for me next time we group up.
No!
Promise nothing.
And sort of experience you see sort of Thrasher staring at you, but as you're walking by, it notices the sensor and starts like bucking against its chains wildly again as you're walking away.
Hmm.
He's a holy dinosaur.
Yeah. Do you do anything, or do you want to keep
Found
walking?
God.
How long has my turn gone on?
Tell you what, I'll give you this last action, then we got to move on to Veshra.
Oh my god.
If we're still
I
doing it.
got 70 gold out of that.
Yeah, Therai's
I
just
probably
living.
Thrasher a little.
More, to be honest.
Therai's living it up, and he's getting nasty eyes from everybody around him.
Let's play with Thrasher.
You want to go up see Thrasher?
Yeah, wave the sensor out a bit.
Okay, Thrasher keeps like pushing against his chains, and you can hear a couple of wood splintering. Like he's really trying to get at that sensor.
Oh god, he's basically
why
like a
did I have to
gigantic
roll
dog,
for good?
isn't he?
What was that?
I
Glenn?
can't like trail him away using the sensor. Just
God,
have him bust out.
Do not
I
steal a
can't.
dinosaur.
I want to, but I can't.
We'll
No.
buy him when he's trained.
Okay.
No, but I'll tell you what. Do you want to enter the pen with Thrasher?
Yes.
All right, you enter the pen with Thrasher, and he's bucking against his chains wildly, and the sensor is dangling out in front of you. What do you do?
I'm gonna boop him on the nose.
All right, you hit it. You boop him on the nose with your hand or with the sensor.
With the sensor.
You boop him on the nose, and he starts to sort of frenzy a bit more, but you sort of feel. You can feel this presence. I want you to go ahead and roll I want you to roll religion really quick.
You should be strong in that
There
department.
it is. It's a +2.
All right,
Oh,
that is a
Oh
quick.
my god!
All right, you hear.
Oh my god!
You feel this overwhelming presence fill you as the word of Ilmater fills your very being, and he's telling you about this little dinosaur. This is a very young T-Rex. He's still not fully grown, but you can sense that he's suffering somehow, and it's not besides like the shackles that are around him, but you can sense that he lost something, and tuning on this feeling, you can feel that he lost his mom a long time ago. And
Oh.
he lost his mom a long, long time ago, but you can feel this sort of presence of suffering with Thrasher now. And just like that, somehow smoke starts to emerge from your sensor, and it fills the air, and you can see Thrasher breathing it in. And just like that, Thrasher sits down and looks at you. Doesn't resist anymore. He's just sitting there.
Pet him.
We're getting a dinosaur!
We're not getting a
I'm
dinosaur
not
yet.
sure.
Pet him.
I'm calling the people over. It was like, look, I'm gonna pet him.
And like, I've never seen Thrasher that calm before. What kind of thing are you smoking in that? I need to know.
Jesus juice.
All right. And you see sort of Thrasher like very calmly staring at you now, and not really on the sensor anymore. He's looking at you in what you can assume to be looking at your eyes.
How do I get them to part with Nasher?
You talk to the animal handler about, like, I've never seen Thrasher so calm, but I don't know. He's still in a lot of training.
No, I can train him.
Well, Granny, I'm sure you could at least control him better than us, that's for sure, but I can't part with him easily. This is a T-Rex. These things are hard to get.
What would I have to do?
We are seriously trying to get this.
You
fucking
see him.
dinosaur.
You see him
We're going
tapping
to
his
the
foot.
jungle on a T-Rex.
You see him tapping his foot for a while, and he looks up. He's like, "All right, I think I can put a price on Thrasher, but I know you won't like it. Either you find a T-Rex as fast as Thrasher to replace him out in the jungle and bring him back to me, or I will part with him for 1,500 gold pieces."
Okay. Well, we don't have that, but I guess we'll
We
be
could
looking around when we're in the
potentially
jungle.
get that.
Alrighty. And with that, I'm assuming you decide to start leaving the stable.
Yeah.
But you can see Thrasher sort of just calmly sitting and watching you leave. And you turn the corner, and as soon as you
Please
leave,
pet the dinosaur.
you hear Thrasher sort of thump his tail against the ground a bit as you walk away.
We'll come back. We'll come back.
Alrighty, moving on to Veshra after that, quite frankly, amazing experience.
That is bullshit! I refuse to accept this as fact!
You can hand back the
Hey, you
70
won
gold.
money.
Yeah, I walked away with 70 gold, but
At what cost?
You have to see someone properly bred a dinosaur. Properly.
If it helps, they barely stumbled their way across the finish line.
Help.
much less the fucking grandma over here.
Hey.
Oh god, I'm going to drink myself to death tonight.
Dinosaur is a child of God now.
Okay.
The dinosaur is Jesus, confirmed.
All right.
Oh no.
All right. All right, Veshra, you're up.
Blacksmith.
All right, you head towards the blacksmith, and this little dwarf greets you like, "Welcome. I'm afraid that my wares aren't very plentiful right now, but I got a few things." And you can see he has a dagger and a short sword up for offer right now. Not a whole lot, but he also is offering some raw materials for whatever you need. He deals both in prefabricated weapons and smelting goods.
Are you able to craft things?
Oh, sure, if I had the money and the resources. But as you can see, I'm a little light on both. And he gives you a hearty little chuckle.
Understand. Have you seen this man? And I pull up the flyer.
Remind me which
The
flyer you
dwarf
plucked?
one.
The dwarf. Ah, New Hackenstone! Of course, we dwarves always stick together. Oh, goodness gracious, where did I see New Hackenstone last? Yeah, probably knowing that bastard he's getting drunk in the tavern again. Where did I think he was going? I think it was Thunder Shark, I think it was. Either way, he's a holy man, but he can't resist a little bit of booze now and then.
Understandable.
Anything-
Thank you.
Anything else I can do for you, you scaly bastard?
For now, not so much. But if I ever need something made, I'll come to you.
Right, you'd best. Have a good one. And he waves you off.
Yeah, I'll go to Thunder Shark or whatever.
All right, you start making your way towards the Thunder Shark Inn. Yeah. You start making your way towards the Thunder Shark Inn, and outside you hear the shouts, "Granny, Granny, Granny," as you're walking down the street.
Oh God!
What did she do this time?
That would imply that's like not the first time she's done a stunt like this.
You
What
don't
the
know me.
fuck?
Yeah, no, this was like meanwhile. you hear like the whole crowd just going nuts. Yeah.
I go in and talk to the dude.
All right, you enter the Thunder Shark Inn, and you see quite a bizarre bunch. You see a couple of thugs over in the corner playing cards. You see a veggie pygmy slowly bouncing its way up the stairs with a man in front of it, heading up to the quarters. And sure enough, you see New Hackenstone sitting across the bar, drinking a tanker bigger than himself of ale, sitting with his other dwarf buddies, laughing about the times.
New Hackenstone.
Yeah, that's me.
I hold up the flyer. Are you still looking for help?
Oh, of course. There's never enough hands you can get when you're trying to get back dwarf relics. Swear, half the people in this town don't give a shite anyways. And he takes this big old drink out of his tankard, and you see like mead and stuff splash over him.
Is there a due date, or is it just whenever?
Oh, there comes no better time than the present to do anything, my friend. Taking back dwarven artifacts, of course, is going to be difficult, but as long as you get it, all fees will be waived. I'll need a deposit first of all, but if we can get it back, all the gold will be returned to you, plus any other treasures we find.
I thought the fee said if you swear to fight the things, it was free.
Oh, sure.
The flyer, I mean.
Oh, sure, absolutely. But I need a little bit of expenses to get out of the place. No, trust me, I'll pay you back. Don't you worry. And he takes another giant swig of ale.
How much?
Well, let's see. I don't think the guild really wants me part of them anymore, so I won't need any 30-day deposit. So let's say... you got food on you?
Yes.
Alright, and do you have any other passengers?
2 others.
Okay, let's see. And you see him counting on his fingers and sort of stumbling back and forth, and his dwarf buddies are just banging on the table and laughing. And he says, let's see, let's say we'd go part with 50 gold pieces for supplies and medical.
That sounds reasonable.
Wonderful. Well, you got that gold with you, boy?
Me, personally, no. But my friends
Having us
might.
pay for it.
Oh, fucking freeloader.
Right, I understand you need to get your band of brothers all together and whatnot like that. I'll tell you what, I'll be here. I'm never going anywhere else, and if I'm not here, just ring for Maid and I'll be running. Otherwise, go find your friends. And he goes back to drinking his ale.
Before I go, how big are these salamanders?
Salamanders, yeah. Oh, those damn fire newts. Ah, well, they come in all sorts of sizes. Last I recall, I saw one bigger than myself, but I can't say that's very big considering how big I am.
You know how many of them there are?
That I don't know. I've killed so many, yet they never seem like they stop coming. Either way, as long as you get Moradin's gauntlet, that's all we really need. Doesn't really matter how many there are. I'd love to strangle each of them. But, well, the glove's all that really matters.
Understandable. I'll be sure to contact you again soon.
Right. And, be sure to bring your friends here so I can give them a good old look over. And he goes back to drinking his mead, and he says, by the way, have you tried the local delicacy around here? There's a special little brew if you're looking for it.
What is it?
Alright, let's see here, Gilmar, do you remember what the name of it is? And Gilmar's like, I don't know. I don't know what is the name of it. Hey, Thromar! Thromar, do you know? And Thromar goes, oh, I don't know. He says, wait, just give me 1 second here. I think I have it on the tip of me tongue. And he starts drinking from that thing again. Just gulping it down, thinking.
If you find the name, let me know.
Oh, hold on, it's on the tip of me tongue. And he takes one back swish and he slams it against the table. Boom. Tej! That's it! Tej! It's lovely fermented drink made from honey. It's like mead plus. I'd get some now, but I'm afraid that I'm a little all, my sweet tooth's a little bit too, how you say, needy lately. But if you're looking for a drink, try the Tej before you leave.
Very well. Good day.
I'll see you around, lizard boy. And he takes another big swing and slams it on the table, starts laughing again.
Alright, I'll try and find them.
Alrighty. Meanwhile, we pan over to Therai and Lidell, fresh off of the dinosaur race. Therai, you've got this big bag of 70 gold pieces in your hand as you're walking down the street.
Well, Grandma, I don't know how you did it, nor what I want to know, but you've earned me more than enough money to cover both our guide and the supplies we'll need to traverse the jungle.
Oh, you're very welcome, dear, but I believe we should... Some celebrations are in order after that.
To be fair, I do feel a bit peckish. Let's say we go grab some grub.
Alrighty. Where do you want to head to?
The druid said to meet him in the tavern.
Yeah, we can get food at wherever the druid's heading.
Alrighty, you take a step inside the Thunder Shark Inn, and sure enough, you see in front of you, a dragonborn fresh off his conversation with a, quite frankly, very inebriated dwarf.
There you are.
And sure enough, it is Snazzer's character. It is, in fact, Veshra, fresh off his conversation with New Hackenstone.
Oh, so that's where you've been.
Yes.
Me and Grandma here have quite a bit the adventure, to be honest.
I could hear.
We did some tourism.
I've talked with my
And-
friend Hackenstone. He's offering guidance for dealing with salamanders for 50 gold.
Hackenstern?
I point to the stupidly drunk dwarf.
You see the drunk just laughing and taking big swips from that overly large tankard, laughing with his buddies.
50 gold. We go with him, and we fight some lizards. Then we get a gauntlet, and he'll pay us.
Oh, but we've met a very nice druid, man.
And how much did he offer for his services?
150 up front, but he's willing to waive some of the fees if we go and take out some undead for him.
As
And
does the dwarf,
to be
and
quite
the
honest,
poster says.
I lean in close to Snazz's character and I whisper in his ear. That dwarf doesn't look like he knows what he's doing.
Do we all know what we're doing? Why did we come here anyway? To fight the undead?
Because of a letter.
Because of a letter. I say we help the dwarf. Get some experience.
Well, no, now we could help both of them.
He said he seems like he wants to do it now more than ever.
How much tea do I have?
All we have
Sorry.
to do,
God damn it.
all we have to do, get a gauntlet, maybe slap around a few lizards.
Yes,
That
there's
aren't
always been
me,
the case
obviously.
to find an item, but that could take a while.
And what if this item turns out to be totally fictitious?
He
What are we
said
gonna
he'd
do then?
reimburse us.
For all we know, that damn thing could be anywhere in the jungle. And meanwhile, we still have the matter of the curse that we have to deal with, that we were sent here in the first place.
Do you know the value of an ally?
Sometimes I ask myself that question.
To mediate
Dwarves
here a
are-
little bit.
Dwarves are drunkards,
Oh,
yes,
no.
but they are very tough people. I say we help them.
Children,
It seems like Grandma wants to say something.
just we've saved up money to hire him, so if you can save up money to hire your fellow, we could take them both along.
Farewell.
Alrighty, you have an opportunity to talk with the druid, or you guys, now that you've entered, can talk with New Hackenstuen.
Like, Veshra, how much money are you missing? You could simply pay me back later.
I have 15 gold on myself.
Oh dear. Okay. But if you really want him to come with us, then I would be able
I
to.
don't think he wants to go with anyone. I think he wants us to go with him.
Okay.
Where did he say we'd be going?
He
We're
said
not
he
talking
wanted
to
to
him.
he said he wanted to go to Hrakamar to retrieve a gauntlet.
He wants to go somewhere, but he needs people's help.
Then why isn't he hiring us?
We're going
no.
with him, not him
He's-
going with us.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you want to talk with Hrakamar? So you want to talk with New Hackenstone there?
Why not?
Alrighty.
But I still say we try and talk it over with the druid.
Hackenstone. These are my compatriots.
Oh, these are the ones, are they? Ah, finally someone around more my size. And you?
Hello, dear. Hello.
Dear God.
Ah, yes, hello. Can I interest you in some drinks? Have you tried Tej? It's delicious.
I haven't yet. I will try some.
Ah, good, good. You'll have to pay for it, though. I'm a little stunned out of coin myself. He just pounds on his big
Of
tankard.
course.
Alrighty, the bartender comes up and offers you a fermented beverage of Tej. It's fermented honey, and it costs you a gold piece.
Okay.
Alright? As you drink the Tej, you get a slight buzz in your head as you become slightly drunk. It's powerful stuff, that.
Lovely.
Maybe Grandma's just a fucking lightweight.
Grandma's a legend.
So, I'm sure that your little lizard friend over there told you about the expedition, yeah?
Oh, we've heard some things, but we weren't aware that he was hiring you yet. Could you tell us about yourself?
Alright, well, I'm just a simple dwarf, but I love my dwarven kind, you know. It's really tough what they put us through everywhere. And this time, these fire newts have gone far enough with their hijinks. They got our damn gauntlets! And they're hiding it away in their shitty little goddamn vault. And I just want to head to Hrakamar and get it back.
Oh, of course, dear. I know about your sufferings.
I'm sure you do. Drinks always tend to bring people together. He sort of bumps up against you.
This is great.
Right. So, generally, I don't know this island super well, but I can tell you how to get to Hrakamar. I'll lead you there for sure, and if we're willing to knock that out first, I can waive all my fees.
Oh, how far away would this be, dear?
Oh, let's see here. And he sort of pulls out a map that you can refer to yourself in the handouts. And he says,
Same map?
Yeah, it's the same map with all the blank spots. He says, okay, let's see here. Right, do you see those volcanoes over there? And he points to the southern part of the island. Right where it says the peaks of... He points to the peaks of flames, and he says, you see those volcanoes there?
I think my map must have been faded because I cannot see shit, Captain.
Zoom in on it.
I'll show it again in case y'all need it.
I'm zooming in on it and I still can barely make out what any of this is. Oh, never mind. I just opened it in a new tab and now I can see everything.
Yeah, do you see the peaks of flame?
Where are we in relation
You
to
are
this?
in the top corner, where it says Port Nyanzaru. You're right in between those two little outlets.
Okay.
Oh boy. That's quite a trek.
Oh, yeah, of course, but it'll be worth it, you see. Inside is a vault full of treasures, and, of course, most importantly, my gauntlet.
What does the gauntlet do?
Ah, Moradin's gauntlet. It's dwarven relic, you see.
You see, basically, if I can remember it correctly, oh, damn it. Thoradin! Hey, what does it do? Oh, I don't remember. What does it do? Hey, Morakin, what does it do? Oh, I don't know. Well, it's really important. That's all I know.
Oh, of course, of course.
It's, really important to get back for Dwarvenkind, you see.
So, just on the side, I do say we hire both of them, because we're getting... What?
One person will guide us to the jungle, the other is taking
know
us to another
why.
part of the continent. That's not what you're understanding.
Ah,
Well, don't we
Oh,
need to
this
go
is
into the
very
jungle
true.
anyway for our quest?
I just
Can you
want to
always
help
come
the
back?
doors and go to a volcano, okay?
I hate volcanoes. Volcanoes make me gag.
It's better than the water level.
but there is no water level, it's jungle level. We avoided the
True.
water level with the pirates.
Yo ho ho.
We're gonna go fight some pirates eventually. Come on.
Yeah, not
God.
now.
Yar.
They've never heard of these pirates.
Okay, well, I mean...
Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry.
There's pirates. We'll
I
fight
mean-
them eventually.
Gauntlet's not going anywhere, we need to go through the jungle first.
Oh, of course you'll be going through the jungle to get to the volcanoes. Everywhere's jungle on this island.
Damn it. Oh, I don't know what to do.
Look, if you need more time to collect yourselves, that's fine. I'm not going anywhere for a while. And he goes back to his mead.
Just gonna be drinking. Lovely.
Pretty much.
Schmuck, any ideas?
You got me.
Shall we let fate decide?
Oh god.
Flip a coin, roll a dice.
For a brief second, you actually look over at the stair. Actually, I want everyone to roll passive perception. Just roll their perception check.
Plus wisdom for me.
Yeah, it'd just be your perception.
8.
Passive perception, you said?
8.
Or
Yeah.
just per... plums. I've forgotten.
Passive
Actually,
perception,
I'm
yeah.
This
I'm
one?
not sure what this.
I think we're all collectively blind. Blind.
Lidell, for a quick second, you actually see the little veggie pygmy bouncing up and down the stairs, and you hear Kawasha calling after him, like, "Come back up here! Koopa Lue, come back up!" And you see the veggie pygmy bouncing back up the stairs again.
Because considering the people we're going to be bringing, Druid would know the jungle, dwarves would be able to fight stuff, but... I don't want to make the decision.
That depends. Did the letter mention anything about a time limit to this?
The letter didn't mention a
Before
time
our
limit.
boss dies.
Yeah, there was no specific time limit. You just know that each day she grows weaker.
We're still on day 1, so I say, like...
I don't know, you got time to check out and spend as much time in the port as you need.
Mm.
Of course, if you're not content with any of these two guys, there's always more to see.
Oh, I don't mind, but... We could roll a d20, low number the druid, high number the dwarf.
Feel free to talk to
Why
both.
not?
8 out of 10.
Of course, you can always feel free to talk to both before you leave.
Yeah. How about
Well,
who wants to make the dice roll?
Should we just talk to the druid first at least and then make our
Yes.
decision?
Yes.
Alright.
I'm not saying we don't have to immediately go. I'm just saying we should pick one or the other.
Alright then. I'll ask around to see if anybody has seen the druid.
He's upstairs.
Alright,
Well, let's follow the
Well,
veggie down.
like both of us didn't see the little veggie veg.
I saw him.
I
briefly.
saw him go up the stairs physically, though.
Oh. Then we go upstairs then.
alright. You go upstairs to Kawasha's room and you knock on the door. He says, "Come in, come in." And Koopalue actually opens the door and bounds away.
Oh.
Oh goodness.
Yes, it's you. I heard about what you did at the races. Congratulations. Didn't know you knew how to handle dinosaurs.
Me either, honestly.
There's a first time for everything.
Oh goodness.
Of course. So, I'm assuming you came here to talk more about the expedition, yes?
Yes, I've brought along my compatriots.
Yes.
You already know about Grandma's exploits.
Yes, I am quite aware. What is your
Grandma
actual
has a
name?
A Lidell elderberry here.
Ah, pleasure. Kawasha. And this is Kupalue. Kupalue bounces up and down a little bit. And who is your friend over there? And he points towards Veshra.
Veshra.
Pleasure. Kwasha. Kupalue. Kupalue bounces again. So, is there anything you'd like to know before we head out?
How long will this route last us?
It depends on where you want to go. I know these jungles pretty well, so I can take you anywhere you need to go. As a matter of fact, I can even offer you an updated map if you choose me as your guide as well. I can see yours needs a bit of work.
Tempting, tempting.
Is there anything you want to do?
But of course, I wish to rid the undead presence of the jungle. So of course, I'm going to want to fight the undead as we go.
So you don't care where we go?
Not particularly. As long as we get to fight undead on the way, I don't care where we go.
Good to know.
Now, how morally gray is this since our boss is kind of undead?
I don't think it matters, Go.
It's a
Okay.
different story. I don't care about those who are sentient, but there are leagues of zombies out in that jungle. Hundreds and hundreds. It's taken people, taken animals, you'd never know. But I want to rid as much as I can. And so does Kupalue here. And Kupalue does like a shadow boxing motion.
What do you think, Schmuck?
Is Koopa Lue just Cha-Cha from Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate?
What?
I feel like he might be.
Kupalue doesn't talk.
Yeah.
Alright.
What did you ask me? Go.
Asking for input. We
What
did the
kind of
entire
input?
dinosaur race essentially for this.
Yeah. I'm thinking we go along with the druid and fulfill his wish of killing undead. It seems a lot less treacherous than raiding a volcano.
Well, he just wants to kill undead wherever they are, not in a specific area.
Which is less dangerous than
Everywhere.
volcano time.
Well, what if there's undead in the volcano?
Well, then
Then we avoid the volcano.
we'll just fight everything around the volcano.
Why don't we take him along with the dwarves?
That's what I said. You said you couldn't.
Don't know if I could reasonably afford the
I mean,
These
with,
200
both.
gold.
with our wallets combined, we could.
Yeah.
I have like 220 gold. Gubs, I don't know, and you have like 15.
I'm
For
sitting at
some ungodly
183.
reason.
I'm not related to the guild. I only got paid what was in my background.
Well, how about this? If we take both of them and we find dwarf treasure, you give me a cut of it.
Well, yeah, obviously, we'll get paid from the dwarf, but if we had both, that would make things a lot easier.
Should we take both then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yay, Grandma wins.
Oh god.
But if we're paying the bulk of it, like, either you pay back Granny or Granny coming down hard.
Well, obviously, when I actually have some gold, I'll pay you back.
Right.
Oh,
So, would
can't
you
believe
like-
Gertrude's part of the mafia.
So do you want to hire Kawasha and Kupalue?
Yep.
Yes, we're
Alright.
also going with the dwarves.
Okay. Remember that Kawasha and Kupalue require an 150 gold deposit before they leave. They need this.
And the dwarf will need like
50.
50, so that's 200
Yeah.
gold. So how are we going to split this amongst the three of us?
What we could do, you pay the druid, I pay the dwarf, and then we figure out the math later.
Oh god. Okay, fine. I can go ahead and hire the druid, and you can sort things out with dwarf man.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, you offer Kawasha the 150 gold. It says, excellent. We can begin preparations tonight. It's still early in the day, so we'll have an extra day or so to get ready before we leave. I have to go make arrangements with the Fists of Fire so that way we can ensure safe passage,
Kawasha.
and that's what that... yes.
We are taking you along with us on an expedition. Is that all right?
Well, of course, friends.
Yeah,
I'm your
that's what a
guide.
is.
All right.
Excellent. So, I'll go use it to make preparations for everything ahead of us. In the meantime, you might want to prepare as well. I need to go make organizations with the Flaming Fist and make sure that everything is above board, as they say. And I would advise you all be ready for combat. We're going to be fighting a lot of undead on our travels.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Take care, friend.
Alright, and
Okay,
with
now
that,
we're the
Talk
dwarves.
with Hackenstone.
with that, Kawasha and Kalupe leave the room. You can see Koopalue kind of waving as he leads the door, and you see him bound down the stairs. All right, back downstairs, you see new Hackenstone happily drinking away with his dwarven buddies.
Hackenstone.
Ah, yeah, hello. Have you made a decision?
We have. We will go with you.
Ah,
But
good.
we have hired someone else to help us.
Ah, the more the merrier. Does he want to get back the gauntlet too?
Not necessarily, but I'm sure we can persuade him to. He wants to fight the undead.
Oh, sure. Crossing through the jungle nowadays, you fight all kinds of things.
Alright,
As long as we make it to Hrakamar first, that's all I need.
indeed.
Right, so you got my 50 gold.
Yeah.
There's grandma in front of me.
Yeah. You.
I don't got money! Fine, I'll pay the 15.
I have. No, you pay me back later.
Alright.
But yes, of course, dear. Here you go.
Ah, great.
And he takes another big swig and he finishes and slams an empty tankard on the ground.
Right, excellent. Thoradin, Gyoradin, go up to Hrakamar. I'll meet you there.
Like, right, boss, and they just charge outside.
Oh dear.
Right,
So wait,
so...
how many dwarves are coming with us?
Oh, just me.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, you might want to prepare for the trip up ahead. We're going to be out in the jungle for quite a few days. Get your things ready and I'll meet you back here tomorrow. And hope your friend knows what he's getting into as well.
I hope so too.
Alright,
This is going to be a long trip.
alright, I'll see you
It's
tomorrow.
gonna
And
be
he
great.
Sort of trudges his way out the door, and you can see him kick back a couple of those big old tankards that he was previously drinking, and he's not drunk. He's perfectly sober.
This is gonna be great.
And he sort of kicks through the door and says, "See you tomorrow, friends," and he closes the door behind him.
Well, seems we've found a band of merry fellows.
So I guess unless anyone wants to buy supplies, that's the end of the day-ish?
Yep.
Alrighty. So, to rent a room for the night, you can either all bed together or you can bed in separate rooms. Each bed requires about 3 gold pieces per night.
I'll do separate room.
Alrighty. So you go up and you purchase a separate room.
I'll bunk in with Grandma.
Alright. And you two cough up 3 gold pieces, however you want to divide that.
I can do it.
No, let me pay for it. I can afford it.
I hand the 3.
Alrighty, and you all head upstairs to your respective beds. You have Therai and Lidell in one, and Veshra in the other, and that's the end of the day for now. Next day, the city is just as alive
Hold
as
on.
it once was.
Before my character, or when my character's in bed, can I try and communicate with him?
Sure.
Eh?
Go ahead, roll a religion.
Not my strong suit. Not my strong suit.
Alright, you try to focus your mind inwards to try and focus, but all you return right now is the void. You can still feel a connection, but it's not super strong right now.
Alright.
And then the
what happens
distance
if
you
you
hear
roll
very
one?
faint yodeling.
That's New Hackenstone.
Master, I've arrived safely. This land is odd, but I like it. I will fight these undead and gather what knowledge on them I can. But for now, I wish you restful slumber. And then I just pass out
Is that into the void, or is that in the letter?
into the void.
Alright, you shout in...
Not spoken.
Yeah. Yeah,
Thought.
you think into the void, and the void stares back. You can feel eyes watching you, but that's about all.
The void yodels at you.
Peaceful sleep.
You yodel to the void.
Alrighty.
God, how long have we been going for?
We've been going for almost 2 hours now.
2 hours roughly?
Oh, jeez.
Does everyone want to keep going, or
Thanks.
do we want to wrap it up for the day?
Yeah, let's keep going.
I feel like maybe we've dragged the stream on long enough for like 2 hours.
All right. Does everyone want to stop?
No.
I'm indifferent. If they're sick of us, we can stop.
What do you think, Schmuck? Should we stop or should we keep going?
I kind of do want to take a break at the same time. Because I can only handle D&D for so long before I just turn into like a...
It's all right.
I turn into soup, yes.
Basically, right now, you're given one more day to like seek out rumors or learn whatever you can about the jungle before you leave. Otherwise, the day after, you'd be heading into the jungle.
Do they got fun and games?
They got everything
They
you
got-
want.
There's certainly some stuff. Alrighty. So, do we want to call it?
Guess we're calling it.
Call it.
Alrighty. So, that was the Tomb of Annihilation Day 1. Yay! Tomorrow begins the final preparations as our players head into the jungle. But what will they find traveling through the forests? What will they find at Hrakamar? And more importantly, where is the Soulmonger? You can find out next time on the Tomb of Annihilation. Thanks for all for stopping by.
Penis.
Stream over.
Alright, yes, stream over. If you want to engage with any of us, you can contact me on my
I want to
Tumblr.
see the chat. How do I go to the chat?
You have to go to my Twitch page. If you want to interact with any of us, you can drop me a line at lolsman87.tumblr.com, and I can pass on any messages to the players. Otherwise, y'all have a good night. I need to rest my throat after all that new Hackenstone. All right.
Hagstone wishes you a good night, ASMR.
Yeah. All right. All right. Take
That would be
care.
something.
All right. Take care, everybody. And stream is
Dicks.
over.
Bye-bye.
So that was amazing.
Yeah. Right.
Fucking grandma riding a dinosaur. I don't think we're ever going to top that in the campaign, to be honest.
2 dinosaurs.
The 2 dinosaurs. Oh
I
my
can't
god.
actually read up the chat in this. Shit.
No, it's okay. Everyone's just saying good night right now.